Either get open source models that are incredibly clunky or closed source models that cost a fortune. Today, that changes. This is MiniMax M3, and you might think it's just another large language model in the sea of AI. But stop, don't click away, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you that this specific model is doing things that up until now, only a handful of closed source tech giants could even dream of. I'm going to show you how you can plug this open source model directly into your code editor, and I'm going to let it loose on a massive coding project so you can see how it performs. So you can use MiniMax with Claude Code, with Cursor, with Klein, the list goes on. And the way you can do it is if you come to this page here, you have a token plan, or you can do API pricing. So you can do direct calls, or you can go buy a plan. And they have the do-it-yourself. So if you hit get API key, it'll link you and it'll give you directions step by step to get this set up with your own coding tool. So if you want to install it on Claude Code, you can come here. You can follow these step-by-step instructions. They made it pretty easy. You're basically installing Claude Code, and then you're going to change the base URL to minimax/Anthropic. If you want to use Cursor, it's a very similar process. You come here, you install Cursor, it takes you step by step. And if we come back to token and plans, you can see here we have the Minimax Code desktop we can download and use. There's also the Minimax Code web if we want. And I just have to scroll down now, and I'm going to just buy a credit pack. What you're about to see is MiniMax M3 be able to build a massive coding project from scratch. And there isn't going to be boilerplate template code. It's all going to be real. If you look at the performance on the Agentic benchmarks, it performs with the best of them, with Opus 4.7, GPT 5.5, and Gemini 3.1 Pro, just at a fraction of the cost, and it's all open source. Which means when I give it a massive task, it can break it all down, figure out what tools it needs to use, and do all the multi-step reasoning to make the code, make the project come to life. And in this video, we're going to actually be setting up Codex to use MiniMax M3. And we're just going to, and it's as simple as following the step-by-step instructions. We're literally just going to our Codex folder where it is installed, and we're going to open up the config file. So on our computer, we have our Codex folder, and if we scroll down, we will see our config file right here. We can right click, open with Notepad, and we now have our file. We just have to copy this over and replace MiniMax API key with our key for MiniMax. So that's what our file looks like currently. And through the MiniMax console, we can get our API key. You can see here, we can create one. Then all we need to do is save the file and restart Codex to have MiniMax M3 ready to go. And just like that, we have Codex all set up and working. And you can see here, we have a project called Pokédex. I'm going to talk about that project in just a second. You can see here, I typed in the word hello. It will come back with no credit because I put in a key that doesn't have credit, just to show you that is indeed requesting the MiniMax M3 model. Now let's start to build our actual project, and I will talk about the prompt and what we are building here. So we have a prompt. I want to build a website based on a Pokédex builder and live tracker with a dashboard where users log in, maintain their personal Pokemon card collection, track current market values, and safely simulate trades with other users using a live database backend. And get 10 cards from Poketrace using their API, and I will provide the key when you ask. And you can see here, it is going to go through and it's going to start working on this request using MiniMax M3. But first, I want to talk about this API. And you can see here, this is the poketrace.com API, and you can get card values for Pokemon, and they have an entire documentation for their code. And if you are not a programmer, you don't need to know anything about this. You just have to know that MiniMax M3 has the ability to go through, understand all the documentation, and bring it to your project. So the reason why I chose this is because it's not something that large language models have been trained on. It's not something that's popular. So we're going to see how well MiniMax M3 handles this situation. And you can see MiniMax M3 already has the stack. It's figuring out auth, market data, trades, and it's going through, and it's even understanding the Poketrace API key. And it says, hey, paste it here so I can pull the 10 cards and give it all a try. While we're waiting for it to generate, I want to talk a little bit about open source models. I think they are the future. If you look at what's happening with Claude and ChatGPT and how they're getting locked down, where only certain people, certain organizations can access them, I think open source models and open weight models are the future of AI. This MiniMax M3 model is really interesting because it was rebuilt from the ground up, not as a text-based model, but as a multimodal model. Vision wasn't just a band-aid slapped on top. MiniMax rebuilt their entire entire pipeline to scale their data, to scale their training data to over 100 trillion tokens. And it was trained on text and visuals at the same time. So multimodal is like the core of the model. I did provide it the API key, and it says, hey, it's demanding the key in a different way. It's going to try something different. You can see it's actually thinking through, and then it comes back and says, hey, excellent, it does work. And we're able to grab all the information that we need from the key. So we have version 1 here, Poke Trace Live Tracker, and we can sign in or create an account. So if we go to create an account, we can see here we have this. We're going to hit create account, and it does sign us in. We have our email address and everything. We can hit save. You can see the portfolio value, cards owned, trades, and we can manage our own collection, browse the marketplace, or propose a trade. So it has all the things we requested, and if we hit browse marketplace, it did indeed use the API to pull in these cards from the Poke Trace API that I gave it. And again, not a super popular API, it was able to do it. So now we can see here, we can say, okay, we have a lightly played version. Let's add it to our collection. We can add that one. And now if we go to my collection, you can actually see all the different cards that we have, their market value, and the value that we have with an estimated value of our total. We can go back to Codex. We can say, hey, please update the entire website theme so it feels more like a Pokemon website, retro feeling, but with more of the classic red, blue, and yellow. And we can hit submit, and it's going to go through. MiniMax M3 is going to go through and update the entire code. And you can already see here, it says, good plan. Let me give it a proper retro Pokemon vibe. One of the reasons why MiniMax M3 is so good is because MiniMax Sparse attention. So there's a white paper about it all. You can actually see the extract and everything. It is really neat. Without going into the weeds of this too much, it's persistent memory across hundreds of thousands, if not millions of tokens, where it will remember everything. While the model is open source and the weights are public, MiniMax Sparse attention is proprietary, but it works extremely well when you're using M3 through the MiniMax website, the way I set it up, the way I showed you to start this video. It is coming to a finish. You can see the servers back up and running. The theme is live. It tells you what you should see with the home, login, dashboard. The retro feel should come from the press start 2-player font heading. It goes through, it tells you everything. Let's just take a look. I'm going to refresh, making sure I'm getting the latest version. And you can actually see here, it definitely does look retro. It has that retro feel with the classic Pokemon colors. So you can actually see the collection now. It looks more like a video game, and it tells you near mint, base color, base set. It looks pretty awesome. Like, this looks really cool. I love the little game effect that it added with the value. And then we can go to the market, and you can actually see it added some effects on top. So this is starting to look really cool. Again, we can go to trades, which we never even really checked. We can hit new trade. You can select a trainer in the database, and then you can trade with that person. And you can add cash. They add cash. Optional messages. You can add cards that you own, cards that they own, and you can say, hey, I'm going to trade this for that. And you can say, hey, fairness, this is how much you're overpaying by. And then just to show you the main page, this is what the main dashboard looks like. Got to track them all. And you can actually see the little spinning ball. It looks pretty awesome. If we're a new player, we can register. I love how this looks. If you're already registered, you can sign in. And again, you can see how this looks. It looks phenomenal. Now the question, is it worth your money? So you have pay as you go, which is like flexible. And that's what I used in this video. I paid some money. I got some tokens. I'm able to use it. And it is extremely cost efficient. But they also offer 3 plans. And the plans are really reasonably priced, especially when you start looking at how many tokens you get for each plan. So you can see here for $20, you get 1.7 billion tokens. For $50, 5.1 billion tokens. And for $120, 12.5 billion tokens. So for the cost and the performance, I think MiniMax M3 is one of the best values right now that you can get from a subscription service, especially considering all the tokens you're getting for an agentic coding model that is very good. And it's not just good on benchmarks, it truly is as good as the benchmarks make it seem. So if you want to like dip your toes into an AI agentic coding model and you don't want to like overspend and you still want something that's state of the art, but you want to go a little bit cheaper, MiniMax M3 is a great option that you can go with. Even if you're a developer and you're trying to like burn through massive amount of tokens, it's still a great option because it is cheaper. And the slight performance decrease, I think, is worth the massive cost savings. And speaking of cost savings, if you use the link in the description below, you do get a 12% discount, and that is for all the different plans. And then if you go pay as you go, similar to what I used in this video, there is a permanent 50% discount that you can get access to. And in case you're wondering, for this video here, I spent the $5. You can see the time and date, you can see my order ID, and then I just want to show you the usage of how much I actually got out of my $5, which is kind of nuts considering it's like 1.47 million tokens. And you can see what we peaked at, you can see the usage heat map, you can see all of my data that I used for this video. As always, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you enjoy AI. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with another AI video.